Coming up, I make a big, valid case why Derek Carr should be in the Hall of Fame.
I bleed silver with black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a raider for life. 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 I'm a raider for life.
Touchdown, Raiders! All right, Raider Nation, I'm not going to troll you any longer. Not the actual NFL Hall of Fame. Mikey Raiders Hall of Fame of Raider quarterbacks. That being said, we are going to talk a little bit about Derek Carr, his time with the Raiders. I'm going to pick my favorite moments, my worst moments. We're going to go over his stats, and we're going to go over some conspiracies that have now hit the Twitter sphere about why he may come back to the Raiders or an NFL team. Let's discuss it on today's show. First off, please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member of this channel for Mikey Raider content. If you enjoy me, you appreciate me, you want to help buy me some tacos or try to make a living through this YouTube, I'd appreciate the support. I got donation platforms available as well through Venmo, the Cash Apps, and stuff like that. Merchandise is available. And special sale, that's right, Raider Nation, I am selling from my home a Bo Jackson Mitchell and Ness jersey, size 56, double XL, from 1987. Sorry about my camera work. There you go. And it'll be $60 if you want to pick it up. I'm also selling a Marshawn Lynch white jersey NFL triple XL, I believe this one is, from Nike. You guys can't even see it. You guys can't even see it. But it's okay. If you want more pictures or you want to discuss it, hit me up through email. If you're interested in purchasing this item, they will go quickly, because these are my only ones available. And a worn, the other two were never worn, but the Bo Jackson one does have a stain on the front. And here's a Howie Long throwback. I believe this is a Mitchell and Ness as well, size 56 or 58. This one was worn a lot. All right, that being said, let's talk a little bit about Derek Carr, y'all. First off, statistically, he is the greatest Raiders quarterback throughout our history. And he ranks 22nd on the list in terms of quarterback yardage and statistics and some other things like that. I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'm not going to talk about it. But Derek Carr is retiring. He went into this offseason maybe about a month ago before the draft. Some news came out that he was having shoulder injuries and his wife had a miscarriage. I hope she's better now, and he's going through some things. So right after the draft, knowing they drafted a quarterback, Derek Carr decided to make an announcement and walk away and retire. We'll get into the theories later, but my thoughts is, why did everybody hate on him? I mean, beyond his football play, which wasn't always the best, it was average, I will admit that. And he brought stability at a position of need for the Raiders, in which he became the greatest quarterback in our history. He's a polarizing figure for so many reasons that I don't understand. And once a Raider, always a Raider. Isn't that the motto? So why are so many people disrespecting Derek Carr and saying they're happy he's retiring and he's a POS and this and that? It is really, really sad. And it's coming from Raider Nation as well. I get it. A lot of you don't like him. But I was hoping it was because of his football play on the field. I know sometimes you don't like the way he speaks, how he represents God on all statements, and some of his antics. He's an insecure doofus at many times. But man, can you just respect what he tried to give to the Raiders? He wasn't able to give it. He never won a playoff game. I mean, we can go through, did he have the weapons? Did he have this? Did he have that? The Raiders didn't go all in with Derek Carr. And those are valid points. But there's no excuses. At the end of the day, Derek Carr was not able to uproot the entire NFL organization, the players on the field, and he could not break the curse himself. He did make a lot of money in his career. They're stating he's made $205 million in his career. Well, congratulations, Derek Carr, for making $205 million as a possibly average quarterback. Sound like Dak Prescott, in my view. Sound like players like Kirk Cousins, in my view. You got your bag. Now, some people are comparing Geno Smith to you. That may be the case. Geno Smith may be a slight upgrade, or he may be as average as you. Time will tell. But I'm not here to compare. I'm here to say that I'm really sad about this announcement. It hurts my soul. And as I was just stating, it hurts me so much that Raider Nation cannot respect him on Twitter and just say, you know what, thank you for what you tried to do. Hopefully you have a better life in the future. But nope, we got to get the haters and the people that are still mad at him for whatever the hell he did that I do not know. That's a negative way to live your life, and I beg you to stop doing it that way. Send this guy some well wishes and some messages of love and respect. And then let's move along. Why are you talking about Derek Carr, Mikey Raider? You're a Derek Carr stan. He is my favorite current up-to-date Raider player. Well, now it's going to probably be Ashton Genty. And then Max Crosby will probably be second. But I have my issues with Max Crosby. He's become a brand. It appears to be bigger than the Shield. But he's still doing and saying all the right things. And I hope he can come back from his injury. But he's doing so much off the field, I don't know if he has any time on the field. But that's a story for another video. Oh, Derek Carr. Let's quickly look at some of his stats throughout his history. Hopefully you guys can see this on screen. There it is, with the Saints for 2 years. And he has played a total of 10 years, I believe. It says 11, so we'll go with 11. But it started in 2014 in the second round. Pick number 36, I believe it was. And it ended in 2024. Now, his total career numbers are 65.1% average. You would love it to be 68 to 70 as a completion percentage. 41,000 career yards. I don't know how many that's average, but let's say that's at least like 3,500 a year, 3,200. I'm not going to do any math right now, but there's his total touchdowns. He had 257. That is such a decent amount. Interceptions, I think he had 99 total. No, it says 112. I think he had 99 with the Raiders. I think I saw that stat earlier. And his rating is 92.8. And that's a pretty damn big, good rating. Again, it all didn't play out on the field, but statistically, he is the Raiders' greatest quarterback in history in a lot of categories. Maybe not them all, especially not playoff victories or victories, and he didn't have a winning record with any team except the Saints. I believe he was 15-14 with the New Orleans Saints. So Derek Carr, man, cannot believe he's retiring. But let's be honest, why is he doing it? Because he's all up in his feels. Raider fans are still complaining, oh, he gave up on the team, he did this, he did that, he wouldn't kneel. Like, they're just finding every single thing to make them proud or happy that he's retiring because he was such a bad guy / quarterback. And it makes no fucking sense to me. I hope we can hear some true stories if he writes a book about what happened in the Washington game, about what happened with, I can't even say his name, McDaniels. And I'm not even supposed to speak Derek Carr's name on this channel. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I am not the droid you're looking for. Go away now. As the critical drinker would say, go away now. I loved Derek Carr when I had my original channel on YouTube in 2011. When he got into the league in 2014, he immediately subscribed to my channel, saw everything I was doing, and hit me up. Then there was times in my life where I was struggling, like when YouTube came down hard on me and the NFL. He sent me on Twitter at the time some Bible verses to get me through. So I am forever a Derek Carr friend, fan, and I've never had the opportunity to meet him, and I wish I'll be able to in the coming years. That being said, he had it. The Raider fans wanted him to go to hell. He saw all the hatred online when he left the Raiders. Then it all carried over to the Saints. And I get it. If you want to talk about his play on the field, his red zone interceptions, a lot of the mistakes he's made, that he was an average quarterback, I'm fine with it. I get it. I believe you all now. When I really look at it, he is not an elite quarterback. He is not a great quarterback. He is a good / average NFL quarterback that was blessed and able to get into the league in a year when none of the other quarterbacks did good. Johnny Manziel, blah, blah, blah. Blake Bortles, blah, blah, blah. Derek Carr was the best quarterback in the 2004 draft. Some thought he might go in the first round. But we were able to get Khalil Mack and Derek Carr in the second. And we had some good years with Derek Carr. And we'll talk about some of the best and worst moments in a second. But all that hatred from Raider Nation went to the Saints. It's because the Saint fans know what's up too, right? He was hoping for a fresh start. Going from Sin City to becoming a Saint. I believe that's why he chose the team. He also was reuniting with Dennis Allen, who drafted him. And for Derek Carr, in his mind and in his heart, this was the best opportunity not only to get money, but to become a Saint and try to ingratiate himself with a new team. And they were built to win when he arrived. But then Jameson Winston, Alvin Kamara, and all the online fans, every time he lost a game or did an interception or whatever the case may be, while putting it all on the line to try to build that team into a winner, he just wasn't capable of it. He is not golden, as the Saints colors would want him to be. But for the Raiders, he brought stability to our organization. And I'm forever grateful that we had one player to look at and say, damn, he is trying. He is trying, and he is bringing some people together. Maybe he tore people apart in the locker with some other stuff. I don't know. But I appreciate from the bottom of my heart what he tried to do for the Raiders. Now, the Saints, all that verbiage and hatred, it got to him. It got to him. It got to him. Especially with everything that's happened this offseason, learning about his shoulder injury, learning about his wife. He just started to realize, they're probably not even going to keep me for another year. I'll be gone by next year. If I played to heal myself, to play for the Raiders, for the Saints, I might not even get back on the field. And if I do they really want me? They're paying me because they need a quarterback, and they're hoping I can come back, and they want me to play injured again, like I've done for the Raiders and for the Saints. And he's like, no, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Everybody hates me. They made, what are those things called? The parade. They made floats disrespecting him. Like, come on. Just sad. Just sad. Nobody deserves that much. Especially a player who's as insecure as I am and wants to be loved by everybody. Him and his brother have the Homegrown Network, I believe it's called, or the Homeland Network on YouTube. They're making a lot of videos to supplement their income. He might go into broadcasting, and he'll do well if he does decide to do that. But let me just give you my best moments with Derek Carr, my worst moments with Derek Carr, and a couple of other memories. Well, first off, my best moment in Derek Carr's career, well, there's got to be two of them. It's when he won the job and he threw the pass, in the preseason game versus the Seattle Seahawks in preseason game number 3 in his rookie year when he beat out, I believe it was Matt Flinch, the Flinch Mob. When he threw, I think, 4 touchdown passes in that preseason game to like rookie wide receivers and undrafted wide receivers, and he made a lot of weak wide receivers. He made them a lot of money as well throughout his career, where they would do the best numbers in their career with Derek Carr, then they would get paid by another team. I mean, Nelson Aguilar comes to mind. I'm sure there's others that I can't think about. And with veterans like James Jones, they had a good year or two. Look, Derek Carr's a good player. And when he finally got a weapon to be consistent with, Davante Adams, Davante had some good years, 1,000-yard seasons with him, but he was gone so quickly. But that was my best moment. One of my two best moments with Derek Carr is when he won the starting job in that 3rd preseason game, because we saw what he did in the first 2 games and he looked good enough, so they let him start that 3rd preseason game. Maybe they didn't let him start. I'm not quite exactly sure. I'd have to go back and watch it again. But long story short, he won the game. And I was like, damn, that's my quarterback, y'all. That's my quarterback. That's that dude. That's that dude that brought that Raider energy. And my favorite moment with Derek Carr is, of course, when he subscribed to my YouTube and sent me sermons. But when we finally made the playoffs, and he took the timeout versus the Chargers, not even a play on the field, but to see his face in that moment, looking at the clock, did it for me. Did it for me. That's my quarterback. Now, the worst moment, I mean, there's many, but there's just the one is the injury. 2016, he's leading the MVP categories, if not the MVP in the NFL. Dennis broke versus the Indianapolis Colts. Every Raider fan knew it, saw it, felt it, heart stopped. I don't care if you were a fan of his or not. You all said, oh shit, our season is over. That was one of the worst moments in Raider history, and there's been a lot of them. But wow. Every Raider fan knew it. Every Raider fan knew it. But he was a leader. After they got rid of Gruden, and he started to have his best statistical years in terms of averages and stuff like that with Gruden. But after they got rid of Gruden, he banded the team. I believe he and others, of course, him and Josh Jacobs, etc., banded the team together with Rich Bisaccia and was able to make the playoffs. Those are the greatest moments in Derek Carr's career and the worst moments, in my opinion. Now, let's get into some quick conspiracy theories. Will Derek Carr retire as a Raider? Of course he will. I don't know why I haven't heard anything about that. I don't know if the Raiders can do it right now, if they have to wait till the start of the season or training camp, or they want to do it in one of the games this year. Or is Derek Carr doing something that forces the New Orleans Saints to cut him? And once he's officially cut, I think they're getting $30 million back out of its $40 million guaranteed contract that they gave him, I think last year or earlier this year or whenever it was. I think he has to pay back $30 million of guaranteed money. I don't know how that works. If it's guaranteed, it's fucking guaranteed. But he's willing to give back that money. But I think the Saints have to cut him and release him officially. Because they might still hold his rights if he's trying to come back into the NFL in a year or two after he heals. Maybe next season at this time. I don't know what the legal ramifications are of that. But there is a world where Derek Carr is forcing his way out of the New Orleans Saints, and he's willing to give up that $30 million guaranteed to not even be on the roster this year. Hopefully, it forces them, since he announces his retirement, they cut him. He gives them back $30 million. They got another quarterback. Then this time next year, he can try to come back to a team. And he can pick any team he wants to come back to. Because maybe, I don't know, again, I don't know the legal ramifications of it. The Saints don't hold his rights anymore if they cut him. And he retires in the NFL. You can always come back from a retirement in the NFL. Then on top of that, if he retires with the Raiders, does a one-day contract or something like that for a couple of thousands of dollars, does a press conference, signs that contract, technically maybe the Raiders have his rights if he unretires. If they put it in the 1 or 2 day contract, if you we'll give you $50,000 if you unretire, then we own your rights. I don't know. If you smarter people than me know, please let me know in the chat room down below or on Twitter. But there is a world where Derek Carr is manipulating all of this to maybe play for the Raiders again or another team. Again, would the Raiders want him back as a backup or whatever? Again, there's too many Sorry about that. There's too many questions to ask there. But the bigger question is, can he work his way back into the NFL in a year or two and get another, $20-30 million contract for a couple of years, or a 1-year contract for $20 million, and then try to see if he has it in him to come back with any other NFL team? I don't know. There's going to be a lot of theories out there. What's yours? I'm going to be honest with you. I think he's hurting right now, and that right now he wants to retire. But I think in the back of his mind, him and his brother and his family said, hey, let's revisit this 1 year from now. Let's revisit this 1 year from now. But he did have to manipulate a situation for the Saints to release him or cut him to where they don't have his rights coming back. Because I think he's done with the Saints, and he's probably done with the Raiders, but he'll probably retire a Raider. So, if he doesn't sign a contract with the Raiders or contact Mark Davis to get a contract to retire a Raider, then there's the possibility that he's trying to come back into the NFL. So that's something to look forward to this offseason before the games start. Let's see if Derek Carr and Mark Davis communicate, and if he does any press conference or signs a 1-day contract or whatever the case may be. If he doesn't do any of that, then he wants to come back into the NFL next year. But I expect him to do that just to make noise publicly. Get in the good graces of the Raiders. He wants to be around football even while he's healing. If he signs a contract, retires as a Raider this year, then he can hang around the stadium. He can go to some of the games, give him an obligatory wave. Maybe he could be a coach for the Raiders or something like that, on the sidelines or helping them out. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. He can be part of the Raiders media. He can be part of the Saints media. You know what I'm saying. It's just really interesting, y'all. But I do think there's a plan behind the retirement. And I can't wait to notice it. Now, one thing, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I haven't seen it. Has any NFL players congratulated him or thanked him for his career, whether it be with the Raiders or the Saints, or Raider players or Saints players? Has anybody wrote any messages publicly to Derek Carr thanking him or supporting him at this retirement? I'm not all over X and Twitter, so I don't really get all the information. Please let me know down below. So, really, really interesting, y'all, what's going to happen with Derek Carr. Are you sad that Derek Carr retired? Or are you like the other parts of the nation that are happy as fuck and want him to go away? I don't want any of that to happen. This guy's a good egg. Maybe he has a better career with the Raiders post being a player or a quarterback. Maybe on the staff, maybe with the media. But Derek Carr will always be a Raider in my eyes, and he'll always be my quarterback in my heart and my MVP, and he's in my Hall of Fame. Thanks for tuning in to today's video, hearing my topic on the subject. Now, I'll see you on the next video. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed, stay Raider. If you feel like buying any of the jerseys I just mentioned, please hit me up on social media or through email. All information is down below in the description. And I love you. Derek Carr. For life.
I bleed silver with black, and I wear it with pride. Hold my shield to the sky. I'm a Raider for life. 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 Touchdown!